the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Mu bosume wotwe yamfa se bosume enkrumu ena yewura NDC amayiku no esom Ghana na nado dan kwakofado ebetwa mfie wotwe obi ani ho a osiki for Asylum ewo Ghana ha na busia obekaya na nsen yede news bi ebrem se ewiase kuo baatan a wohwe kura asundue woso no aka kire Ghana se yemma yeni na ho ba bia na Ghana yeda na nado dan kwakofado penso no yakoya chiye pa ni nyina de se efri se sa ba we NDC amayiku baba mu no Ghana yasundue sem no ewo so pa enya asem keto na abusia Abronye Dc wakoseli Asylum officially no emunsem ena enne obi atim edebetudwa na waka asem bi wose sa Asylum ya Abronye Dc wakosiki no NDC ni John de Mahama efa ne se wo tata no enti enya hwe na ewiase ku a enase ewiase amansan a ehwe o man konko Ghana no eka asem foforo ekire Ghana eka asem foforo a ebeha Ghana daache enti NDC amayiku no ema wonani nko ho abusuafo yenko na Asylum krata Abronye Dc twereye emusem ni enkomo bia aba afa ho no Koko TV yaba yenye tifo ebeto aso
a hard journey. If that is the experience that he is going through, I feel we should pay attention and then think through, because he will say umeba me bre amama kenkama or say kwame bafo Abronye, and he goes on to Immigration, Refugee Affairs Department, Embassy, High Commission, Asylum Authority. I say, dear sir, madam, subject: formal request for political asylum and security protection. I, Kwame Bafo Abronye, a Ghanaian politician and the current regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party in the Bono region of Ghana, respectfully submit this formal application for political asylum and security protection from now till the period when my application will be assessed and granted by any of the countries I have applied to as attached below. I have attached all relevant documents establishing my Ghanaian citizenship, marked Exhibit A, grounds for seeking asylum. My request is based on consistent escalating political persecution, threats to my life, and systematic abuse of state security powers by the current government of Ghana. The key grounds are: 1. Unlawful arrest and detention. In February 2025, shortly after the current NDC government assumed office, I became the first opposition politician to be arrested and detained by the National Investigations Bureau for over 13 hours. My arrest followed my public criticism of the government's crude, unfair, and blanket dismissal of over 150,000 Ghanaian workers without due cause, and a call for their immediate reinstatement. During my detention, I was threatened, intimidated, and sternly warned that unless I cease criticizing the government, I will face more severe reprisals in the future. 2. Ongoing threats and intimidation. Since my release, I have received persistent threats, both verbal and electronic, via WhatsApp and SMS, from individuals linked to the ruling party, including those currently holding government positions. Recently, I publicly questioned the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Mr. Christian Teteyohonu, on an online TV program that I host, for failing to address the worsening insecurity in Ghana per the recently released Global Peace Index report, particularly the tribal conflicts in the north and that have resulted in deaths and displacement, while instead of focusing on the selective arrest of opposition members for expressing personal opinions online, even when officers, members, and supporters of the ruling party have also said same or even worse. 3. Targeted harassment and threats of arrest. Following my public remarks, I received a threatening call from an individual claiming to be an investigator and identifying himself only as Mr. Seth, claiming to act on instructions of the IGP. He ordered me to report to the National Police Headquarters immediately to answer questions as to why I have been insulting and disrespecting the IGP, Mr. Christian Teteyohonu, threatening that my failure to comply would result in being forcibly apprehended and dealt with mercilessly, that I won't come back to life. Through my lawyers, I officially wrote to the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, to verify if any official complaint had been lodged against me and if they had invited me. The Director General of CID, through the Secretary, informed my lawyers that they had not received nor initiated any criminal investigations against me, and rather directed my lawyers back to the supposed investigator, Mr. Seth, who when contacted, flatly refused to clarify and instead ominously stated, and I quote, "Tell that boy that if he refuses to come and we pick him up, he won't come back to life." A confidential source within the police later informed me of a secret meeting where plans had been finalized to arrest, detain, and brutalize me should I appear at the police headquarters. 4. Escalating pattern of prosecution. In recent months, there has been a disturbing trend of opposition politicians being arrested and detained beyond the constitutionally mandated 48 hours without bail. This has created a climate of fear and intimidation where political opponents of the government are deliberately targeted. Based on these realities and the direct threats to my life and liberty, I am convinced that I and my family are in imminent grave danger. Legal protocols relied upon in the application. This application is properly grounded upon the following binding international legal instruments and guidelines. Okay. One, it talks about them, the 1951 Refugee Convention and 1967 Protocol.
And the various...
It talks about Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 14, affirming the applicant's right to seek asylum. 3, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 9 and 19. 1969 OAU Refugee Convention. And then the 5th one, UNHCR guidelines on international protection, recognizing that persecution of opposition, political, and denial of state protection fall within the Refugees Protection Framework. In conclusion, in the light of the above, and in genuine fear for my personal safety and that of my family, I respectfully seek political asylum and security protection in your country. I place my trust in your respected institution to consider my case urgently and to extend the necessary humanitarian assistance and protection under international conventions governing the rights of asylum seekers. And they say, for your kind attention, Kwame Bafo Abronye, Regional Chairman, Bono Region, New Patriotic Party, and the copy is to the UN Resident Coordinator Office, Resident Coordinator Ghana, Communications Officer UNCT, UNHCR Ghana Representative, UNDP Ghana, UNOWAS Regional Mission, and the recipient embassies are Canada, Accra International GCCA, UK Embassy, German Embassy, United States, Cote d'Ivoire, Spain, France, Italy. And it says all correspondence can be sent via my personal email.
In any of these countries, no asylum, no. But he raises very interesting issues. I think the government should take these serious. For the international image of our country, we've carved a certain image for ourselves. Meaning, say, upon the invite, Wako police are swear, Once the police will invite you, based on what they are investigating, they can formally arrest you.
Okay.
No, my grant you bail.
Okay.
I don't know if they have arrested him or will be arresting him and grant him bail subsequently. But this is not looking good. I mean, for the international image of the country,
I think that as a country we should try to move ahead of some of these things. It's very, very important. And wherever I've always had challenges, and maybe when it comes to the application of justice, there will be say it doesn't know A and it doesn't know B. So I expect same on every individual in this country.
Yes.
The application of selectivity in terms of justice is dangerous for us as a country. And then let me quote the former National Security Minister, Ira Kandapa, when he met the judiciary in a conversation, and he was frank to tell them that from the look of things and what he's hearing and seeing, say in terms of their rulings and their judgments now is not healthy. If we are not careful, it will create a certain impression. So lift that conversation, come and put it here this afternoon, that if we are not careful as a country and as a government, some of the actions and their inactions It's creating a certain mindset for all of us to think through, especially with the approach.
Yes.
Now, officer mandated by Ghana to act on our behalf, on our dear rightful. Why do you jump walls?
So I'm jumping.
Yes, if you jump and will be at sebi, on also feel say I'm not pay. What comes out of it? I don't know why.
I
don't know why Abai after Abai we have decided to frustrate and intimidate and to encourage this kind of thing in this country. It's very hurting. If you go to read what Olivia kindly actually do on Facebook and now, they be other Osam the power chance no careful. We should get away from that perception of when we have power, we will use it anyhow via our emotions and forget about the loss of the land and apply our emotions or the office that we have. We will not care about what you do again. And they should hear us. When that time comes up, we will not know who is powerful or who is not powerful. Because we are building a country that we all want, not a country that will suit a certain group of people. That is what we have done to ourselves up to this point. And I'm surprised that when you tell government after government, when they are in power and you are talking reality to them, they will always come back at you, insulting you. But Ukraine said, whether 4 or 8 or 12 years, there is appointed time for every political party
to leave power.
That time will come. So, touch wood. So the next elections, if we say NDC is not in power, are the people occupying positions now thinking through what the future holds for them? We don't build a country like that. Because the space now is not comfortable. And I was
a bit shocked. Already Abronye way, you know. As a meteor baby, so say police for no or say he ordered me to report to the National Police Headquarters immediately to answer questions as to why I have been insulting and disrespecting the IGP, Mr. Christian Teteyohonu.
We talk about insults in this country. We talk about insults. We want insults to be a question for all of us to discuss in this country. People in power and out of power. We talk about insults.
And we've sat here to say, sir, this thing I do level as well be a bien no attended when you are in opposition, it will sound all sweet because it favors your cause. But under power, you would see say and you're exciting when people are insulting you. And that is where we are. That's where we are. Well, do you want me to say it is about any commodity and a member. Moses Aqua saying
maybe medals will be now swear.
Na papa. Na sisi amu wa hefa.
Oh, you see there me move me back to Kukumemle because now me were headquarters for more and I was 4th floor SIU. But me were down on my means CID for no and then P and then go for 2P and I wanted to call it the pay my investigation. Me di chikaka means omo na koto NIB nti me wana means car na de ne ko no aba back with the 2 CID and on my full problem and so sisi a me no kasa no the investigation my is over NIB today is no
na it am paying no reporting who to police CID me boy
no reporting no go police CID
it would how better time me unim
time them in but maybe about around 10 going.
Around 10?
Yeah.
And
11.
He's been at the CID until now.
Yeah, CID until 1 month or more on.
I'm going to call NIB.
That's right.
Now, call on the lawyers now.
Now lawyers know what top or more than the lawyers know. To be bad down. Then the baby be at Jimmy Banner me who say, I'm a drop or money at 2 car more than a call. Some of the bloggers, media phonology now, yet in command and say, Saka na Sababio. But men now money in a coin, move back, and I'm a full top one.
Or any idea why police for Eton Safreno?
Last week, kama embano two na yeko court na yeko mo court bela. Omo share ya yeko court omo ye johnson. And I menya hint to be say yes, we did the IGP attempt. Nche omo kanon pamiso sa ase ya wahano mnkofo didi nana akufado attempt. And then omo nye one way opposition. Omo opposition. I deal with it. There should be a way a more the between, but to be I see a cochinipa, be a cochinipa, but do be a beer. Anybody that don't mean control me. But when I be BSc, now for beer, them ran I to myself, and I left. And I move here now. Police for no, I'm men by me fee, say, Omanian, say, Abronye my fee. I'm say out. Every other no, I run me fear, be gate, my papa bump. Mama said to me, fearing now, a cord that had the house, a co said to you, a man who appear and almost so much here, the echo. A timid dear son, I'm it, but my name said, so they do so what did.
Inti, Omoba Ufi, no, Omokacha will say, I'm born into Omoba Ufi.
Almost said here and almost see Omania information said. I'm keeping Abronye in my house. I'm say how. Abronye is a bono regi not chairman. However, menene has been 1 year ni mimi who Abronye.
Nsem-Pii.
How would I keep Abronye in my house? But the war modos no let me resist it. And me ya no be hurting. I'm alone with my small brother. And to be momo kwai momo room mo follow momo search here. And I may confront to a pain, no pain is there because of Abronye into no mobile and to my almost search a week or my own to Moko. There's one of my pickup is if you almost as a car winner, Abronye a use. Now, no, this guy is not for Abronye. Media. Me and me use to me cano. Jamon reckon, definitely tomorrow some documents. I will meet him more a worker. Ana yakasa esa na omodo koi ana no pawe nyanti ese Abronye akọ no makorpoto no ti mi de me na me koi and at the end of the day DAC no ti e back akọ party office akọ company form na akọ e be faso na Ghana we aye wo dia on we yin na dis to figure na we want to nkasabi
ba said your work no o said your what say and say almost say ODD IGP attempt into
that is what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you perchance heard any of the things our Kafa IGP what TV?
I can let my darling back ako bisa when if maybe they be a present me cancer ma me name the maker. I'm not far from the place. I can turn and go there. Omo catch and find omo kan James wa. No, I
was even asking, sir, Neoma or much same Abronye aka Ediafa IGP Hono. What TV?
Yeah, audio no Omobo Mamiti na IGP Walusu then Penny Kasa, I mean like insult, maybe I criticize me or that kind of things. Or IGP they were ni Dampare was not doing that. Those things are meti. There's no any threat in Bia. It's all about it be insult and criticize.
Okay, just the IGP attempt or criticize, you know.
Sure.
It is one threaten IGP from what you
know. I didn't the MT and the man who threatened West Bia.
But from the insult, the criticism, you know, Ufi say and yet enough grounds for him to be arrested, and
sure, bro. There you are, no more. I don't know yet. Minya, the senior man, and then I can't hear, yeah. Even some of the video no kind.
FM.
I'm can send the bray at the TIA at the D that I do Adanko Akufado. I don't know Monkai. Obia Uncle Chubia. At least me there. Maybe baby I'm a there. I don't support Nyama BCA trade to Penibia and Bibi. But I criticize there. It is allowed. It is allowed.
But also criticism is really different from bare insult. So we did attempt. That's That's a bit different from criticizing.
This say you na audio na fe yetimi actually agin. Call me the meti ye ne de. Me gidi tum se wa ye bibi kura na mo invite na kura na. Ame mo nturu fu na mo ne nkaza se minya. Men kosi unless me IGPC any say. But say at the end of the day na want man jan na mo man demo na de chia.
Asylum.
Mo tina the right so.
Mate, ma menna say Moses bibia ni a ye baba be din komo bio. Why?
Without seeing your bema.
Moses Abo, a former Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer, Edema NPP, or one of the names Abba App said, or more the national organizer position of the party, and Moses Abo and Motraining. Community fear and police focal ready, I think Emra was 3 days ago in search of Abronye.
But Obi,
yes.
Well, maybe say Ghana for they've played us for too long a time. These two major political parties now in opposition. Well, how was he, Kasa? So, and then he's trying to justify in a way. So, my pension, and it is true. Now, one name Ghana and the NDC for Binum Kakai. And for another, the person, and a titomo MP, one name. Worse than what is happening even now. Worse. It will be perceived by my say. Agona ye dino. Ehunsu so no. Enkwa Azerbaijan. Agona ye dino. When we have power. Bibia yes. We cannot be criticized. If you are criticizing us, it means that you have been paid to do the criticism. Sagrono. When the scales turn, don't come and explain your side of the story to us again. So we see a teaching our country there. Let's go ahead to build that country. Let's go ahead, because for how long will